Long before borders were drawn, and long before maps could name this land, there was the Nile. And beside the Nile, there were people. The Luo people, strong, proud, and bound together not just by blood but by something older, something sacred. In every Luo family, there was a spear, not just any spear, the ancestral spear. Passed from father to firstborn, generation after generation, it was power, it was identity, it was the family's very soul made iron. When their father lay dying, he called his two sons to his side. Labongo the elder received the spear. Gipiri the younger received the royal beads. Two gifts, two destinies, and a bond that for now still held. One morning, an elephant wandered into Labongo's garden, drawn by the smell of ripe pigeon peas. Labongo was away hunting. His wife screamed for help. Gipiri came running. He grabbed the nearest spear, the only spear, and drove it deep into the elephant's side. The beast bellowed, turned, and fled into the forest, gone. And with it the spear. When Labongo returned and heard what had happened, there was no gratitude. No well done, brother, only fury. Find the spear, he told Gipiri. Find it or don't come back. Gipiri begged. He offered another spear, 10 spears, anything. But Labongo would not bend. The ancestral spear was not replaceable. It was not a thing, it was everything. The forest was no place for a man alone. Venomous snakes coiled in the shadows. Leopards paced unseen. The trees grew so thick, the sun forgot to visit. Gipiri walked until his feet cracked and bled. The wounds festered. He collapsed, alone, sick, and with no way back. Then an old woman appeared. She lived in the forest as if it were her garden. She asked no questions. She simply knelt down and began to heal him. Day after day, she cleaned his wounds, fed him, kept him alive. When he was strong enough to stand, she pointed him deeper into the trees toward the elephant. And so Gipiri left, into the wild, into the unknown. He found the elephant where it had fallen, deep in the forest, still and cold, and there, lodged in its side, was the spear. He pulled it free, he held it up, and for the first time in weeks he breathed. But the story was not done with them yet. Back home, one of Gipiri's daughters, just a child, swallowed one of the royal beads while playing. A small thing, an accident, the kind of thing that happens. Labongo didn't see it that way. "Give me back my bead," he demanded. Gipiri pleaded. He offered every bead he owned. He offered anything, just as he had done with the spear. But Labongo's answer was the same as before. There is only one way. Gipiri sat with his daughter that night for a long time. In the morning, he did what was asked of him. He recovered the bead, and he lost the child he loved most in this world. Some prices, once paid, cannot be forgotten. Some wounds don't heal the way bodies do. They go deeper into the part of a man that remembers. There was nothing left to say. The two brothers walked to the bank of the Albert Nile, to a place that would one day be called Wang-Lei. They dug a hole together, the last thing they would ever do side by side, and they buried an axe in the earth. Wang-Lei, the axe, the end. On that day, the Luo people split in two. Labongo turned north, his people would become the Acholi. Gipiri turned west, his people would become the Alur, spreading across what is now West Nile and into Congo. Two brothers, two nations, one buried wound. Today, a bridge stands near that very spot. Packwatch Bridge. Cars cross it every day. Children cross it. Traders cross it. But the old people remember. They say the river remembers too. Those who cross with hatred in their hearts, those who come to bring harm to the people of West Nile, the river takes them quietly, without explanation. Gipir and Labongo are long gone, but the axe is still buried, the Nile still flows. And the story never really ended.